Hey folks, it's Meet Your Doom here. Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to play some Tales of Tribute, and I'm going to focus on the Grandmaster Delmene Hallelu, however you pronounce that deck, and also the Hermaeous Mora deck. And we're playing a deck or a match against the computer right now, the NPC, and it's at the expert level right now as well too, and I'm at Rubedite rank. So yeah, let's go ahead and pick these patrons, and you can see that the computer already picked Druid King and Saint Pelin, the light green and the red decks. And yeah, so let's get going here. It looks like it's my turn first, and yeah, so let's just go right ahead and play our cards here. So we got 4 coin, and our best option there is going to be this card right here because it's got 4 power. That's a really nice card. We want to grab that right away. So there we go. Can't do anything else. We'll end our turn and watch and see what the computer does. So the computer got that really nice card. Had a lot of power. See, let's click on their deck and you can see they got that. Look, 5 power. That's nice. It's a tricky card to pick up at the start because it's 6 coins. But yeah, good on them for getting that. Okay, so we've got 4 coins, and here's pretty much our options. Now this is a contract card, which means it's not going to go into our deck. It's just going to be useful for this one turn. And I might not grab that this turn if I didn't have this Hermaeous card that came out, but since I did, I can get a combo, so I'll grab that. And I've got 2 coins left, and so that means that I can either try and grab the next card. I might get lucky and pull that one, or more likely going to grab one of these other cards. So I'll probably get like 1 coin or maybe 4 power. But for right now, I want to just increase my chances of getting coin. So all I'm going to do is sacrifice one of these single coin cards and get one of the double coin, the writ of coin cards instead. So there we go. That finishes up our turn. Our patron is done. And you want to make sure you use a patron every single turn if you possibly can. The reason why you want to use a patron every turn if you can is this is an advantage every single turn because you can put pressure on your opponent. You know, the closer you are to a patron victory, the more panicky or anxious your opponent is going to be, and that's a strategy that you can use against them. So okay, let's go here. We got 4 coins. And not much we can grab right now. This often happens when you're playing is you get sort of locked around the start. And what that means is all your coins in the tavern here are going to be really high cost, like 5, 8, 6, 5. And this, the Tith card right here, which gives us an extra patron turn, that's not so valuable right now because we don't have a lot of coin or power to utilize to flip these patron cards. So we'll just try and save that as long as we can. And really, there's just not anything I can do this turn. And sometimes that's the way it goes the first few turns. So basically, all you're going to do is you're going to just keep hitting this writ of coin. And because this increases your overall coin count and your chances of getting more coins in your turns. So you want to hit that as often as you possibly can. So far, we're not really seeing too many Delmene or Hermaeous cards. So this may actually turn into more of a Saint Pelin and a Druid King video, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, look, this. Now we've got 5 coins, so we've got a good choice here. We can get instant power from this contract card, or we can add this to our deck. And we really want to add this to our deck. This is a really powerful card. Yeah, we really want to grab that. So we're going to do that. And that's going to greatly increase our coin count. And that combined with the writ of coin cards that we've already collected, this has given me the feeling that we may already have enough coin sort of collection power overall in our deck. So that means that we don't really, from this point forward, need to worry about grabbing coin cards at this point. From now on, what we really want to be focusing on is grabbing power and deck control. And what I mean by deck control is reducing the number of cards in our deck, and perhaps maybe grabbing some cards that allows us to shuffle around the cards in our deck so that we can get a better order and optimize the pattern that they come out in, so that we get more combos and power and stuff. Anyhow, okay, so we're done now for coin. We've got a patron. So look at all this we can use any of these right now. And before I use these, I like to take note of what our power levels are and prestige levels are at, because if there's a big disparity here, like if they have a lot more prestige or power than me, then I might not use one of these patrons that costs power over here. But since we're pretty much even right now, and I have a little bit extra power right now, that's not concerning me too much. And that means that I'm really happy to use this St. Pelin patron, because this is one of the more difficult ones to pull out. You can only use it whenever you have an agent in your discard pile. And since agents are a little bit rare in this game, they're hard to get, then I want to flip that right away, because that's going to make it much more difficult for my opponent to get a patron victory. I'm already quite well ahead, which means now they're going to have to flip that twice, and I already have it. So that means part of my strategy moving forward now is I want to really prevent them from getting any agents added into their deck. This would be okay, because this is just a contract. They can't add that to their deck. And although that's a nice card, it's only an action, so I don't have to worry about that. There's no agents out right now. So this is going to really greatly increase our odds. And we still have 2 power here. We're still going to get ahead. We'll have 8 prestige at the end of this turn. So we're feeling pretty good. So I'll hit the end turn button there. There's a certain card that we're always hoping pops out for the Hermaeous Mora deck. And I'll point it out whenever it comes up here. Hopefully we see it soon. Okay, so play all of our cards. I generally just play all the low value cards first and get those out of the way. And I play my higher value cards last. It is fairly important that you play them in the right order. It depends on the patrons that you've gone with, though. We'll look into that more later on. Okay, look at this. So we've got 2 choices here. This is pretty obvious right now. We definitely want to grab this card. 3 power every time we pull it out. And if we really need to, we can sacrifice it and get 3 power with the Delmene patron right here too. So that's a really nice card, and we get a little bit of extra coin from the combo. So I like that one quite a bit. So yeah, I think we'll add that in. And just something I want to note right now, sometimes these patrons, they have a coin cost, so you want to take note of that before you buy your cards. But since none of these patrons cost any coin except for this writ of coin, and at this point I'm not too concerned about using that anymore, I don't really have to worry about that, so I can just freely spend my coin, if you will. So yeah, let's grab that card. And there's only 2 options here, so I can get rid of cards. Say, like if there was a patron here, I would very likely use this patron right here, or sorry, an agent card in here. I would use this Druid patron, get rid of that, so that my opponent can't grab that and then grab this patron. But since I don't have to worry about that, I'm not going to use that, because it costs 2 power, and I need to get power right now. Look, they have 13 prestige and I only have 8, so I really need to preserve that power right now, and which makes this the best choice. But I can only get rid of 1 card with it. I can only get rid of this, and there's no way I'm getting rid of that. It's way too valuable. When you have an agent card out, it's really handy for putting pressure on your opponent, because instead of just grabbing power, now they have to try and get rid of my agent and grab power. So we definitely want to leave that out. And the whole time it's out, it's benefiting me every time. The longer it's out, the better it is for me. So because that means that I have less cards in my deck, so I'll roll through my deck quicker the more agents I have out. So yeah, we definitely want to get agents and get them out as fast as possible. So it's too bad we can't use that this turn, which means maybe we'll look at this again and just think, okay, is there anything we really don't want them to get? Because I'd be willing to sacrifice the power to really prevent them from grabbing something like say like a really powerful card or something with a lot of coin. But since that's not really something that's on the table right now, I think the most important option is just to gain power right now. So I'll preserve this, unfortunately not flip a patron this turn, and we'll just move forward. Okay, look at this. This is great. Now I can get a combo here. So let's flip that. And with the combo, I get an extra coin. And this is such a powerful card because... oh, sorry, no, I didn't get it because you need an extra agent. But this agent gets activated when any agent on either side gets played, and that's what makes it so powerful because you can get coins so fast with it. Whenever they play an agent or whenever I play one, I get a coin, whether it's my turn or not. It's really cool. Okay, look at this. We've got a great amount of coin right now, and unfortunately, we didn't pull a Hermaeous card, which means we can't get a combo off of this, which isn't so bad because the combo just gives us more coin, which can be useful, but we already have 7 right now. We're doing pretty good. But this is a very valuable contract card because you get 5 power for it. You only have to spend 4 coin and you get 5 power. Unfortunately, your opponent pulls a card as well, so you want to be mindful of that. You can check up on their deck and see what they got, you know. And really the only card I'd be worried about them pulling right now is this one. But since they have their full deck up here, they have nothing in their drop pile. The chances of them pulling that are the lowest they're going to be right now. So that means that it's okay for me to pull this right now. Say like if they only had 3 cards left and that was one of them, then I might really not pull that right now. But, you know, it's okay. And the only other one I'd really want to grab right now is this Druid card right here. But this one's just going to really add more coin and into our deck, and it can be problematic too because if you're trying to control the number of cards in your deck and keep it to a minimum, which I think most of the time we pretty much are in this game, then this is going to make that harder because it's just going to keep adding cards into your deck. That could be useful because you can keep selling those cards with Delmene, but they're not worth a lot of money. So I think this is more of like an early game card, but once you've already established yourself into sort of the mid game, I'd never really sort of pick that one up unless I'm trying to grab a lot of Druid cards so I can get that really great Chimera agent card from this one. But anyhow, we're nowhere close to that right now. I don't think we're even going to bother trying to get a Druid thing right now. So yeah, let's just grab this one, get that power, and oh, look at that. Look, we can use this Rag Picker contract card and destroy one of our cards. And we have a perfect card for getting rid of here. All these single gold cards, we want to get rid of those ASAP. Just a quick other thing to note, this is actually a pretty useful card as well too. More in the early game than mid game or late game. But it's handy because every time you pull it, you get an extra couple of coin. And if you get a combo, you get 3 power from it as well too. It's pretty handy, and it's only cost 3 coins. So I like that card too. If that weren't there, I might actually just buy that. Although I'm getting a little anxious about how many cards I have in my deck already right now. So I'd rather just get rid of cards and control the deck and get power than increase my coin chances. So that's why I'm going to go with this one. Get rid of that. There we go. That's the card we want right there. That, in my opinion, has got to be one of the most valuable cards in definitely in the Hermaeous deck, but probably in the whole game. Because every time you pull it out, you can get rid of 2 cards in your deck. So theoretically, within 3 turns, you can completely control your deck to only Patron cards, like only colored cards, and which are all your most powerful ones. You can get rid of all those single coin cards really quickly with this. And if you have extra Hermaeous cards in your deck, you get 3 power for it every time you pull it out as well too. So it's a very, very powerful card. There's 2 or maybe 3 of them in a Hermaeous deck in total, but you really only need to pull one of them and add it to your deck. And after that, you probably just want to prevent your opponent from getting any of them. The drawback to this, which is a pretty big drawback, unfortunately, like most of the Hermaeous cards, is it gives your opponent an extra draw. So they get to pull an extra card whenever you play this card and every time you play it. So that kind of sucks too, especially if you're playing against like the purple crow deck, because that can be disastrous. But that's the way it works. That's the way the coin or that card works. So that's what you got to go with. Anyhow, we have no coin right now. We can't grab it. So unfortunately, there's a good chance that our opponent's going to get it. So here's what we could do. Since we have an excess of power right now, and we're theoretically ahead of them in power. We have up to 4 to spend before we're equal with them. We could use this Hermaeous Patron, and we get a copy of that with the Patron, and then they also would get a copy of the card too. So maybe we'll do that. Probably don't want to use the Delmene one, because all we're going to get a chance to do is get rid of one of these cards. We don't want to do that yet. Those are too powerful. I end up using this Delmene Patron closer at the end of the match more than the start. It's great for deck control and just gaining power. So yeah, I really think that this could be a good option if I just didn't want anybody to get that. But you know, I'd really like to get that card. So I'm just going to take a chance, and I'm going to grab it, and then they get a copy, unfortunately, too. But maybe they're not planning on using it to clean up their deck. Maybe they'll have to adjust their strategy, where for me that already plays into my strategy, so I don't have to worry about that. So I think that it's slightly better going to work out for us than the opponent. Hopefully. It's the idea, at least. Just drinking some coffee here. Look at that. Okay, and the Druid deck, this, in my opinion, is probably the most powerful card. Look at this. It's Contract Agent. And when any card is put in your cooldown, you gain 1 power. I'm telling you, you can gain power so fast with this card, especially if you're playing with the red St. Pelin deck, because it has so many, what do you call them? It has so many agent cards with taunt in it, that you can really protect your cards with those. And if you're lucky enough to pull 2 of these out, you are just going to be rocking. Now look at this. I've got this card, and I'm going to grab that here. Hopefully I've got enough coin for it. Thank goodness. Okay. See, that combo from this card with the extra coin, that what gave me just enough to grab it. So we're going to get this. Oh, that is so good. And look, since I activated another agent, I got another coin from that one. Okay, so, and we got 8 power here right now, so we're laughing. We're doing pretty good. And look at that. There's a very powerful Hermaeous card that just came out. One of the other most powerful cards in the deck. This is the unupgraded version, I think. I can't tell right now. Anyhow, yeah, look at it. Look how many combos there are, and look how much power you can get from this card. It's just ridiculous. It's awesome. You definitely want to grab this every time as fast as you can, pretty much. There's a lot of good cards in here. Actually, they're all good right now. This is an incredible card right here in the St. Pelin deck. We haven't even talked about it yet, but it's really expensive and it's hard to get. So I don't think that we're going to end up getting that. We don't have a lot of coin to work with right now, but we've got a pretty decent card selection. Anyhow, yeah, so hold on. Okay, now we got to move forward. So let's just take note of where we're at. Let's look at our draw pile here. So we've got a lot of coiny sort of stuff here, not a lot of power in there, but we have control. So that's okay. We just need a couple of turns to play this out and get it under control. We've got some great agents out, and we've got a bit of power going on over here. So we have like a medium power gaining situation. We really need power right now. We don't really need coin, and we don't really need control. Okay, since we gained this Hermaeous, the Voracious Tome Shell card, that's what gives us our deck control now. So we're cool. So we really want to prevent the opponent from getting stuff, because they're getting up there. They got 20 coin. You know, we're deep into the mid game right now. So we probably not going to use this Hermaeous, especially because it's already pointing towards us and it's favoring us. We don't want to use that anymore. And we want to be very cautious about what cards we're adding to our deck at this point now too. We're controlling it. We're into this control phase right now, and we don't want to ruin that by adding more cards. And I think a really valuable sort of way to play this game, or like a tactic for it, is just buy a couple of cards around the start to the early mid game and trust in those cards and let them work for you. If you buy too many cards, then you're not going to get to play them all. So just buy a few and just trust in them and just let them do their thing. And don't water it down by buying too many cards. Unless you're playing, like, depends on the decks, of course, you know. like the Sorcerer Orgnum, the light blue deck. That's a little different there. But anyhow, we're looking at these patrons right now. Okay, so yeah, I could get rid of something. Definitely don't want to do that with Delmene. So that means basically Druid King is our option right now. So you know what? I hate to do it, but I'm just gonna get rid of both. Because right now the opponent's gonna be like, "Bah, no, what'd you do that for?" Right? And it's like, well, if I can't have them, nobody can have them. That's sort of my thoughts on it. And you know, it's a game, and I'm trying to get to the winning position here. So I got to do what I got to do. And unfortunately, yeah, they got rid of our great card there. They destroyed it. But look at this. What opened up for us? Okay, so let's take note out because we've got a lot to do in this turn. Okay, and luckily we're playing against the NPC here, so there's no timer, so I can kind of just talk about this at length. It's different when you're playing against a person in like a ranked match because you only have so much time, so you really got to move quick. And on that note, I want to mention something else I feel is really an important tactic. Is during your turn, I sort of think about all the things that you can do during your turn as sort of like actions. And it's very comparable to what it's like when you're running a trial or a dungeon and you're DPSing. And it's really analogous to that. And I think it's a really cool way to look at it. Like, this is what I mean, for example. Like, everything you can do during your turn in a Tales of Tribute match is like an action. Like you can gain some coin, and then you can spend that coin, and then you can flip a patron, or you can destroy one of your opponent's agents, or you can draw extra cards, and these are all different things that you can do. And I think that it's best to do as many of them as possible during every turn as you can. The more actions that you are playing within a turn, the more you are increasing your odds and decreasing your opponent's odds of gaining a victory. And so you want to make sure that you're playing your cards in the right order, which is really important. For example, like this one right here, this Voracious Tome Shell. I don't want to play that first because its main advantage is deck control, destroying 2 cards. And if I don't play those 2 cards I want to get rid of first, then I won't be able to gain the advantage of that. So you want to make sure you do that. But here's what I mean by it being analogous to DPSing. Say like you're in a fight and you have like one spammable, one main skill on your bar, and it hits really hard, like surprise attack or something with a Nightblade, and you just use that. Oh, there's my dog barking. There must be somebody outside. So let's say that, yeah, you use that one spammable attack, and it hits for, say, like 30k, so you just keep doing that. But that's what your DPS is going to be, 30k. If you want to get more DPS, you have to add some extra attack skills in there, like dots and things, because then you're layering extra sort of bits of damage. So like you have a dot on there that maybe does 2k every 1 second, and then you're also hitting 30k on top of that. So then you're getting like whatever it is, 32k DPS. And so that's sort of like the recipe, the very basic recipe for how you get lots of DPS in the game. And I sort of think that's the same tactic in this, like where DPS is like your power, your prestige. And the only way to get as much of it as possible is to utilize combos as much as possible in Tales of Tribute. So anyhow, I think this is a good turn to describe that. Anyhow, okay, so let's go ahead here and make sure that we play the cards that we want to get rid of first. Like this one, want to get rid of, and those other ones maybe, but almost definitely probably. My strategy here is I just like to get rid of all of the coin cards. Seriously, like I just, whether they're a 1 or a 2, I just get rid of them all. Of course, I'd get rid of the singles first, but I want to get rid of them all. I want my total number of cards in my deck to be like 5 or 6, if possible, so that I'm just playing the same cards every turn. And then what the goal is to get is like the best combination of the most tiniest deck that you can get. So like maybe a coin card that gives you some coin and a couple of powerful cards that combo together. So like every turn you're pulling 5 or 6 coin and gaining like 8 to 10 power. It's like a great recipe. It's difficult, but it's fun. So anyhow, let's get rid of this one. Like, oh yeah, we already clicked it. And get rid of that one. We already clicked it. Boom, they're gone. I might even get rid of those single coin cards too. Depends on what other cards are in my deck. If they're going to give me a really valuable combo, then I won't get rid of them. But if their chances of getting a good combo out of those single coin colored cards isn't very good, then I'll easily just get rid of those two. Anyhow, okay, let's play that. And, so 6, here we go. This is what our options are. Look at that, nice. So I think we're going to go for this St. Pelin +5 power card. We definitely do not want them to get another one of these. And our only other options are getting this Whisper Caller Totem card, or the Elder Tide Fenwich card, which I definitely don't want that at this point. And this is a nice card to get in the early game, but right now it's not gonna. It's better for giving us coin and better access to combos. But since we don't really have any other powerful Hermaeous cards at this point, and it's getting towards the later game, I'm not too worried about that one. I'm just going to leave it there because the cards that aren't valuable to me, they may or may not be valuable to my opponent, so I kind of want to keep that in mind. But the more cards that are sort of lower valuable, not that useful, that you leave out, the better it is for you sometimes, because that decreases the chances that your opponent has. And if you're already doing pretty good on your side, then all you really want to do is just stop your opponent from getting ahead. You just want to let your cards play for you. Anyhow, let's move on here. Grab that. And there's nothing else we can do over here. And look at this. We're getting fairly close to a patron victory. So right now, what we want to do is possibly take advantage of that. Okay, so there's one Coin of Writ card that we might want to get rid of over there. We could keep it. It's worth 2. There's no Coin of Writ cards there. We might want to get rid of these 2 cards, but it's not top priority. We definitely don't want to get rid of any of those, and we only maybe want to get rid of these 2. So the only reason that we would keep this Hermaeous card in the deck right now is to get rid of these 2 cards, which is fairly important right now too. There's still time, but I could get rid of it right now, and that means I only have to flip one more patron. It's too bad that you know what, maybe instead of buying, oh, you know what, instead of buying that, I should have bought that, flipped that, and then maybe I would have gotten lucky to get another card that would have produced power, and then I could have flipped that Druid card and gotten a patron victory. Anyhow, okay, let's just keep trucking here. I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm just going to keep it because I want to keep playing. If I wanted to finish it up quickly, I might just get rid of that card and flip that Delmene in that last turn, but not right now. Yeah, look at this. Look at this turn. This is what I'm talking about right here. So imagine that these are the only cards I had in my deck, and all these other cards were gone because I was able to get rid of them all with this card. Look at that. It's amazing. Let's see how much power is produced. So I got 1 from that. The nice thing about these Pelin cards is there's no penalty to them, and there are lots of power. Similar to the Hermaeous deck, there's lots of power in this deck, but there's penalties that happen. It's more powerful, but because of the penalties, that sort of hinders it a little bit, although I still love this deck. It's got to be one of my favorites. Yeah, look at that. It just pulled 13 power out of those St. Pelin cards, plus the 1 from that. That's lovely. Plus 6 coin over here. Look at that. So we could keep playing here. We've got options. We're in a really, really great position right now. Check this out. Okay, so we've got 24 prestige, 14 power, and those added up together are going to give us 38 prestige, which means we only need 2 more to gain a victory, because you get a victory once you hit 40 prestige, right? Okay, so we can easily get to that by just using this Delmene patron. We only need to get 2 more, and we can just sell one of these cards, and we'd probably just sell this one right here, because, you know, my opponent is definitely trying to get rid of it with their power, and if they get rid of it, I can't sell it. If they knock it back into my deck with the power, then yeah, I won't be able to sell it until I can play it again. So it's a good chance for me to play it right now. I can get an extra 4 power that'll put me at 42 prestige in total, and I'll be, unless they can get a lot of power, I'll be in a pretty good position to win. That's one option. The other option I can do right now is I could win right now with a Patron victory, because I can play this, sell that card. I've got 6 coin. I can buy this, which gives me another Patron turn, and then all I have to do is play this other Patron, and I'll have a 4 Patron victory. And yeah, that's I'm just gonna go for that right now. You know, it's a shame that we didn't get to play more Hermaeous and more Delmene stuff, but we still got to cover some really interesting moves. And so let's play it out here and see how it goes. So let's get rid of that card. Okay, we're gonna buy that one, and now we're gonna play this one, and we're gonna get rid of, doesn't really matter, get rid of the most valuable cards usually. There we go. There you have it, folks. Okay, so I guess, yeah, to summarize, it's too bad we didn't get to play a little bit more of the Delmene and the Hermaeous, but we really got to see some cool moves from the St. Pelin deck and the Druid King, and we got to have a really nice look at the patrons and how they work as well, too, for these 4 decks. And so I guess that wraps up today's video. I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and if you have any questions, then be sure to leave them below in the comment section. And if you enjoyed the video, then don't forget to hit the like button. You can always subscribe for more videos like this as well too. Once again, this is Meet Your Doom. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.